Hi everybody. It is just Johnny, and let's see, it is still Tuesday night here. I was trying to make sure of where I was at. I have a couple things to show you, some swaps and some other things, but I was watching a video the other day from DK Crafts, and she was showing how she was making some wrapping paper out of some tissue paper, not tissue paper but napkins. She had a gift to wrap, and she didn't want to have to fight the traffic. Looked around and found some pretty napkins and I guess basically some wax paper, and decided to Mod Podge the napkins onto the wax paper to make her own actual wrapping paper, because as you know, tissue paper really isn't very strong to wrap most things. So she came up with this really cool idea, and when I saw it, I went crazy over it, because, you know, I would actually literally, honestly, I love Mod Podge, and honestly, you know, I would Mod Podge my dog and my cat if they'd stay still long enough. I don't know what it is, I have an infatuation with it, and I think it's really cool. So what she was doing is she was laying the napkins out as in square, and so you could kind of see where they were overlapping. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe if you took the wax paper and you tore the napkins instead of just lining them up square by square by square where you could see the seams. So I messed with this, and this is actually not napkins but some tissue paper, and I just tore it and put it on and Mod Podge it onto just some wax paper, and as you can tell, it came out horrible. So this is what not to do. Do not do this. Actually, tearing it would be okay, but the issue is that I used this dark stuff with it. I just had these random ripped pieces, so I thought, you know, okay, if I would have stuck with the two different silver and white ones, I probably could have gotten away with it. So anyway, don't do this, because look at how ugly this came out. And so, give me a second, because the other one just slid off my lap and under my desk. So then I remembered the gorgeous, I'm trying to get this from under my desk. The gorgeous tissue paper that Texas girl Leslie had sent to me in a rack that I won. So, now, this is beautiful. This is my second try. And this is that gorgeous tissue paper that I was oohing and ahhing over. And I just took a big piece of wax paper and Mod Podged it to one side. And it actually now feels, I want to say more like a lightweight vinyl. But the nice thing is that when you have tissue paper or napkins, they're pretty translucent in the clear areas. And if you're trying to cover something that has a lot of dark in it, you can see through the napkins, and you have to put on many coats of napkins, or you have to paint the object first. Well, this is a lot better. So, and I only did it on one side. She had said originally she had put the white on the back and it made it too thick, so we have decided that only one side is good. So this is it with wax paper. Then I thought about, because wax paper is only 12 inches wide, if you really wanted to make something wider, this wouldn't quite be enough. So then I got out parchment paper and tried it with some parchment paper, and I actually threw them away today, but oh no, I didn't. Here they are. The parchment paper, the issue with parchment paper is that when you're trying to Mod Podge on it, it rolls up. This is actually a piece of parchment paper, and I had the hardest time keeping the edges from rolling up. But it works if you want to fuss with it. And now what I went and I got was freezer paper. Now freezer paper is 18 inches wide rather than 12, and the parchment is 14. And I Mod Podged on either side. The shiny side that feels like wax paper, and that's what this one is. This is Mod Podged onto the shiny wax paper side. Then, as you can see, this one, I don't know if you can tell, I Mod Podged just as a test on the flat side, which isn't waxy, and both sides stuck, so it really doesn't make any difference. Okay, so anyway, this is a couple things here. Let me move this aside and this aside and all. So this is my swap for Creating the Crafty Life. I had to make the Matchbox, and I decoupaged the napkins from Leslie onto freezer paper, which is thicker, and I did not paint the outside of this Matchbox. I left it with all the print and everything on it, and because the wax paper, the parchment paper is, oh my god, freezer paper is so much thicker, you can't see anything through it at all. So this is my little box. It's got little feet at the bottom, and here you go, the drawers pull out, a little bling and a stick pin, and I also put on the back here in the seam, I put some flatback pearl so that the drawers would not open this way, so you couldn't push them past there. So they only open, here you go, they only open here on this side. So this is for my swoop. And see, look at that, I lied because it did push through there, so I'll have to move and put another piece. But anyway, this is for Creating the Crafty Life, my swap partner on there. And I actually had the same partner for the Matchbox swap and for the pin cushion swap. So this is the pin cushion that I have made for her. And basically I didn't do anything to the little thing, the little jar. All I did was added a little charm with a bobble at the end and some pearls with a little chain over here, and that's it. And then this is white chenille, and there are some, for instance, this has got bunny rabbits because this is like an Easter one, and that's a little bunny rabbit, and this one is just a little butterfly, and these are two different beads. I got this bead from Leslie, and then I had these other beads, and this is a little duck. I don't know if you can see, it's a little glass duck, and I like this little one. I like the colors. Anyway, so this is for my swap partner on Creating the Crafty Life. Those are her two things. I had to add some flowers to the little frame that I had made for someone that I have to ship out, so I just put a couple of flowers. I was just going to leave it black and white, but I decided I liked a little red and made her two stick pins that have red on them instead of just the black. So that's for her, well, someone. And then there was another lady on YouTube who just did a video about taking the thread spools from like the factories for yarn, and she made these out of, she took hers and altered them all, and she has them stuck in a gorgeous jar, and she painted them and bobbled them up, and now she has wrapped lace around them. And I have a couple of them on the other side of the room, and I have some outside right now drying to paint. And I actually they're, you know, I'm going to fancy them up. I had been collecting them over the years at yard sale. I just always had liked the way they looked. In fact, the ones I have across the room still have a lot of thread on them. And I don't even think that this one was one of the things from a factory. I think that this originally probably was one of those things you lay down and you rub your feet on. But it was so similar to those wooden spools that I thought this would really be cute. So let me see if it'll... There you go. So it'll stand up. And I altered this, and I'm going to do a bunch more, and I'm going to wrap my fancy laces on them because I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful idea that the lady did. And I'm so sorry that I don't remember what your name is. Oh my goodness. Let me look and see, because I still might have her. Yes, SS Crafter 1. And I'm sorry that I did not remember your name, but I actually still had her video up and silent. So that's where the wonderful idea was from her, with and then to wrap lace around. So I'm going to do a bunch of the ones that I have, and I guess that's it. So, all right, and oh, I'll show you this. This actually came from, it was like you were supposed to put a candle in it, and it actually set on a little wrought iron stand, but the problem was is that it was, if you breathed on it, it fell down. So I am actually going to take one of the wooden spools that I have, and I'm going to turn this upside down like this, because it's got the big hole, and I'm going to put it over the top of a spool, and this will be the top of one of the spools. How cool is that? I know. Now I wish I had a bunch of them. I guess I'll be on the lookout for these too. Yard sale time is coming up. Okay, everybody, please be nice to each other. Try not to thumbs down. Love everyone as much as you can, even your enemies. And have a great evening, and Pinkalicious hugs. Love you all. Ciao, ciao, ciao.